going to show you how to program some super simple icebreaker activities that your students can complete asynchronously during the introduction or Marcha Blanca weeks. As always, I always have my activities created in Word first, so that when I am programming onto EDUCANDUS, all I have to do is copy paste. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 simple icebreakers that I'm going to do. These are based on A1 students, but they can definitely be adapted for higher levels. So my first activity is agree or disagree. And the idea is that students read these sentences and they write yes if they agree with the sentence, and they write no if they disagree with the sentence. Then they write one sentence with more information. And here I've given them an example of what it should look like. This is extremely important with the asynchronous activities. Always leave students an example of the activity that you want them to do. So let's start programming this. I'm going to do this in a simple assignment task because it's not necessary that students see each other's answers. If you wanted them to see each other's answers, you could do this in a forum. But today I am going to go for assignment. Okay, and in assignment name, I'm going to put the name of the activity, which is agree or disagree. Even to make it simpler for the A1 students, you could call this yes or no, your choice. Okay, then I'm going to copy paste all of my instructions in here. Okay, and I'm just going to play around with the format so that it looks okay. I'm going to make it bigger. So you have the first instruction, then the second instruction, then you have the sentences, and then below you have the teacher's example, and maybe you have to just work a little bit on the format. Okay, so now we have our instructions and our example. Let's take a look at the settings. I'm going to disable this in the availability because I want the students to be able to access it anytime. So when we disable this, we leave it open. This after, for the submission types, they don't need to upload anything here, so I'm going to leave it to online text. I don't think they need a word limit, and this isn't important because we will not allow them to upload it here. In the notifications tab, you want to make sure that these are both set to no. Otherwise, you will get an email every time a student completes it. So make sure these are set to no. And then that's you done. So we have a nice, simple icebreaker activity that I programmed in 3 minutes. And this is how it looks for the students. That's it. Number 1, done. Let's move on to number 2, my life in pictures. The students are going to upload 5 pictures that best describe their life right now, and they're going to write one sentence to describe their picture. Again, this is for A1, so I asked them for one sentence. If this was for a higher level, you could maybe ask them to write more information, or you could even ask them to record the information and do it as kind of like a presentation. Let's see the best way to program this activity. Again, it's very important that you have your example ready so that students can see what they have to do. And I am going to take a screenshot of the table so that I can upload it as an image. If you want the students to be able to see each other's sentences, you're going to choose a forum for this activity. If you don't want the students to see each other's sentences, then you would choose the same assignment activity that we did for the previous exercise. I'm going to show you the forum. This means that students will be able to see their sentences and the pictures. Again, I am going to choose a name for this activity, which is here, My Life in Pictures. Copy paste this over. Then I'm going to take my instructions and again change the format. Okay, and now I want to make sure that they see my example. So first of all, example. And I'm going to click this little image here, the mountain, and I'm going to open the files on my computer. And I saved it on the desktop. So I click upload this file. The description is not necessary, and I save the image. So here, students can see the instructions and the example. Now, we want to scroll down to the settings. First of all, for the forum type, we want each person to post one discussion. That way we can't get lots and lots and lots of students opening tons of threads. Each person will get their own thread. For the attachments, we want to set the attachments at the site upload limit. Now, they're only uploading pictures and writing little sentences, so it's not going to be 100 megabytes, but just in case, we set it at the site upload limit. And we asked the students for 5 pictures, so we need to change this. If the limit is 5, I would always go a little bit above the limit just in case they have an issue. We don't need a word count here. And in the subscription and tracking, I'm going to switch read tracking to off and subscription disabled. And this means I shouldn't receive an email every time a student completes the activity. Once again, I save and return to the course. And here's one more icebreaker activity that literally took 2 minutes to program. Students see the instructions and they see the example. And when they click on add a new discussion topic, here they will be able to upload their pictures, and here they will be able to write their sentences. And that's it. Moving on to number 3, truths and lies. This is the students are going to identify true or false sentences about their teacher. Again, you have different ways that you could program this activity. If you want students to interact together and read each other's sentences, you would choose a forum activity. If it's just your sentences that you want the students to read and identify, then I would choose a quiz activity so that students can see if they got the answers correct or not. So, first of all, we need the name of the activity, and then in the description, you're going to write something like, click attempt now to see information about your teacher. Something like that. We don't need the activity instructions yet because this is just the general description of the quiz. Here, we don't have to worry about timing because again, we want this to be open for as long as the students need, but we do want in the review options to make sure all these are checked so that students can see feedback and see the correct answers at the end of the attempt. Okay, and then save and return to course. Now we can start programming our sentences. We click on the link and we click edit quiz. Okay, now we have our quiz. We are going to click add a new question, and the first thing I want to do is add a description. This is where I will put the instructions for the activity. So in the question name, I will put instructions. Okay, and in the instructions, now I just copy paste over. Okay. Apart from that, I just have to save the changes. Now, there are two options that we could do. We could have the students identify each sentence as being true or false, or we could have a multiple choice activity where students just have to select the true sentences or just have to select the false sentences. I'm going to go for the true or false option. So for the question name, I'll put 1, and the question text, I just copy and paste over here. Once again, you can change the writing, change the color, whatever you want. Okay, now I need to put in the correct answer. Again, I have it here. That's true. Then in my feedback, I'm just going to take what I have already and I'm going to copy it in for both sentences, for both if they mark true or if they mark false, because students are really only going to do this activity once, so you don't have to put different feedback for each of them. And now I just have to repeat that for all of my sentences. Okay, now I have my 8 sentences here. I want to drag and drop them all so that they appear on page 1. They're all going to appear on one page. So just drag and drop them all. Hit save. And you are done. And this is what it looks like for the students. You have the instructions here. And then they see the sentence and they have to select true, false. And when they finish the attempt, they can see the correct answers and also my feedback, which I wrote, giving them a little bit of extra information. So that is truths and lies with using the quiz function, the true or false quiz function. Moving on to truths and lies for students. This time, if you want the students to be able to write their own sentences and then read each other's sentences, you guessed it, we're going to use a forum activity. Anytime we want the students to interact together, the answer is always forum. So we copy paste the name of the activity, and in the description, we want the sentences. So what you could do is you could paste another example here below, or you could actually go into the forum and do your own sentences. So first of all, with the forum settings, I'm going to, again, each person posts in one discussion. Attachments, I am going to say that uploads are not allowed because they're just writing simple sentences. Subscription and tracking, again, disabled. Off, which means hopefully I won't get emails every time the student completes the activity. I save and return to course. And there it is. So before the students do the activity, I would click on it. I would add a new discussion topic and I would put some example sentences of my own. So for example, Steph, my sentences, okay, and using the same ones from the previous activity, I'm going to put copy paste in here. Okay, again, You can format it however you want. You can change the color. Okay, and again, I can click this button off, and that means I will not receive an email every time a student replies to my post. I save change and I'm done. So that's how it looks, and every time a student posts, then their names will appear below. Okay, and the final activity, the make an avatar activity. Again, you decide if you want the students to be able to see each other's avatars, you go for the forum. If you just want them to see their own avatar, then you would go for an assignment. I am going to go for the forum activity one more time. I'm going to copy paste the name in here and then the instructions along with this YouTube link, which is a very clear tutorial on how to create an avatar. Okay, and one more time, each person posts one discussion attachments. This time, yes, because they're going to have to upload a picture of their avatar. So again, I'm going to set it to 100. For this activity, I think 3 attachments are fine. Turn off the description and tracking. Save and return to course. And again, before the students get to this activity, you should enter, add a new discussion topic. Here you can see the video tutorial, add the discussion topic, and here you should be able, if you have gone through the process of creating your avatar, you should be able to, let me choose a nice one, I'll do hi. Upload here, and it says write 5 sentences about you. So again, Stephanie, format it however you want, change the color however you want, uncheck this little box, and you post it to forum. So the students will see your submission, and by clicking on your name, they will see your emoji and your sentences. So that's it. We just programmed 5 different icebreaker activities onto our EDUCANDUS page pretty quickly. So please let me know if you have any questions or doubts, and get programming.